So it's lightning talk time. Sarah's still here. Oh, good. Have you got time to do your lightning talk? Oh, good. I was going to read it out for you because I felt really bad. So there's a reason I stick to timings, and this is one of them. So Sarah has to go in a minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah. I work for the NHS, and I'm really sorry that your other speaker had tonsillitis, but that talk was a perfect introduction to what I'm here to talk about. So we know within the NHS that we need to get more small digital companies coming and working with us on exciting projects like this. And we also know that it's really difficult for small businesses to come and work with the NHS. So last year we ran an event with Bolton Hospital called Mobilise the NHS, where we pair up clinicians who've identified a problem and we help them pick sensible problems. So they're not allowed to turn up with, please write a system for the whole of maternity. And they're not allowed to turn up and say, I can't install this software on my computer. So we pick the problems, we pair them up with small digital companies. They spend 2 days together. Most of that time is spent exploring the problem space, sketching, prototyping, thinking about what a design might look like. But around that, we fit in talks about quite dull stuff like NHS procurement that you need to know about. We talk to you about what happens if you decide to build an app and it turns out to be a medical device and how you can get that validated. So we're there to kind of support you. The intention is that we want to create the sort of atmosphere of something like hackathon, but we want these things to turn into real products. Last year, working with Bolton, we ended up with one application that has gone on to become a real thing, and 2 applications that were a bit blue sky but really interesting ideas. So we've been helping those people look for funding to take those ideas a bit further. We're doing it again this year. This time it's with Salford Hospital. If you think you'd like to get involved, I will tweet a link to the application form. Oh, have you done that? You're brilliant. It's a well-oiled machine. So take a look at it. I need your application in by Monday, which I know is really soon, but basically all you need to tell me is who you are you a Northwest-based small digital company? Give me a bit of an idea about what you do. We're just looking for 4 companies, so it's not loads, but put an application in if you fancy coming and having a go. It will be a really good fun day. There's always masses and masses of cake, which we found really makes a great big difference. So thank you. Please come along.
Anyone else? Lightning talk. Anyone want to give one? Come on then.
Hiya. Firstly, thanks for Reason putting on this event. I have to say that because I'm currently freelancing with them and I want them to pay my invoice. I'm kidding, but no, please pay my invoice. The Lego doesn't pay for itself. So yeah, my name is Phil. I'm also known as Front End Phil in certain circles, mostly these kind of circles, to be honest with you. And yeah, I'm a front end and WordPress developer. I've been doing it for a long time, as my grey hair attests to. I've worked for MMU, of all people, Crabby's Grand National, Sorry Horses, Reason at the moment, Street Support. Basically, I've got about a bit. So I'm going to condense a 30-minute talk into 3 minutes, probably about 2 minutes now because I've wasted a lot of time. So yeah, so my main point for you today is to, when you're working with, even if it's on your own or with colleagues, developers, for example, always do a daily stand-up. Just take 5-10 minutes of your time. The daily stand-ups I normally do is, how are you feeling? What did you do yesterday? What are you going to do? What are you going to do today? And any blockers. It's surprising how these massive agencies, they don't really spend time talking about feelings and how people are feeling about the project, about themselves. And I think it's the key point. An example I can come up with was one of the developers I was working with. He was feeling really down. He wasn't really sleeping properly, so kind of asked about what was going on. It turns out he was having a problem with the project. He was a researcher, and he it was basically just blowing his mind. Homelessness is a difficult subject in itself. So yeah, so basically I jumped on with him. We fixed the problems he was having, basically working out how to categorize the various homelessness charities. And we solved that problem pretty quickly without him kind of stressing out on his own. So really, I'm just here to say, let's talk about feelings. Feelings are cool. Developers, we have this thing where it's like, we don't have feelings. We just talk about beer and, I don't know, video games and football. Feelings are really important to the project. It can make or break a project. Team cooperation and that kind of team structure is much more important than code. And that's me. Thank you.
Who else? There's another hand. Oh, a few more hands. Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Jamie White. I head up Trafford Council's Innovation Intelligence Lab, so we're essentially a data lab, trying to do outreach to community groups and voluntary groups to help them use data to support them with applications for funding. One of those groups has come to us because we are kind of data and technology. They have just won a contract with the council to deliver a lot of preventative services, so things like stop smoking services, mental health stuff. What they don't have is any kind of case management system. So I said I would come here and kind of say, if there's anybody here that is able to work with them to build some kind of means of recording the kinds of people that they do interventions with, and then some kind of workflow, then it will be a kind of a big start for them. They have a budget of about £5,000. If there's anybody here that feels that they could deliver some kind of database by which they could manage how they're delivering interventions, then come and speak to me afterwards. That'll be good. And that's all I'm going to say. Right.
You want to go? We'll have one more after this one. So.
Hi guys, I'm Ray from 34sp.com. I'm pretty much here as a member of that company. The main reason I want to talk is we do free hosting for charities. If you don't know what hosting is, come talk to me about that. If you work with or for a charity, if you're looking at working with a charity who doesn't yet have a web presence, or if they have a web presence but they're paying for where their website exists, that is what we do. And we pretty much any registered charity can come get that free from us. Doesn't amount up to a lot for most people, a couple of £100 a year, but for a charity that can be a big difference. So please come talk to me about that. And as I say, if you have any questions about WordPress or web hosting in general, that's one of our biggest focuses. So just come talk to me. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I already had quite a few conversations about that today. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I told you I'd keep it short.
One more. Who wants to go? No one? Fine. I mean, whatever.